So we back. Love and Marriage Huntsville, the Huntsville of love and marriage, right? We see a whole bunch of different clips that are basically chronicling out the whole season, and it looked like it's gonna be some mess. Look like it's gonna be some mess going on. We got Lance having babies on people, and Lance, I just want to let you know that it's quite funny to me how you were carrying at your mama's and daddy's vow renewal about Destiny giving a compliment to a stripper at a bachelorette party. Meanwhile, you've been raw dogging hoes and getting hoes pregnant at the same breath. See, you type of motherfuckers are the type that really get on my motherfucking nerves. Y'all want to go around spreading that diseased sperm all across the nation, bringing in children who you really can't even provide for, probably. And then want to hold all the women to a different standard if they even look another man's way. I can't stand you, but I'm not gonna go into that so much as of yet. Number one, because we ain't got to that scene when we are actually discussing it. And number two, we ain't really got to see Nell and Lance have this conversation. We're at Tisha and Marceau's place, right? Tisha is cooking with her daughter, and she wants the son to take off his do-rag. You know, take off the wave cap. And y'all, I can't stand it when people wear their wave caps all the time either. If you wearing a wave cap on camera when you're out the house, what's the point of even having the thing on? You were on camera. So at this point, you should have had prepped your waves enough for you to wear the head without the do-rag. So I completely understand. She says that she's trying to get him to be prepared for college. You know, it's going to be girls there. I was like, Tisha, out of all the things that you talking to your son about college, the first thing you going to is girls. I really don't like how you miserable marriage people always are trying to force that dynamic on other people. Don't nobody want to be in no miserable marriage. Don't nobody want to be in no miserable relationship when they are in their college years. Let your son wear his do-rag around campus, get his books and his school done, and go about his way. Because obviously finding some girl with a lisp in college is not going to do so well 15 years from now based on what we seeing with y'all relationship, but I digress. Now, in the driveway, we see none other than Showed Enough Wanda pulling up in her white SUV. I was like, I wonder if she's selling them nasty fish plates out of this now. Child, she rings the doorbell, they open the door, and the mess begins. I'm like, Lord, I thought you delivered me from Wanda. So she gets into the house, right? She says, I'm gonna sit right next to you, Marceau. Marceau says, nope. He gets up and sits to the couch adjacent to the seat that she had sat next to. And he says, I like to keep my enemies in front of me. She says that you acting like Martell, jumping and running away. In one breath, you talking about Martell is a good man and Melody messed it up and destroyed her family. And then the next minute, you acting like Martell is running and jumping. Last time I checked, the only person who be running and jumping when Martell around is your son-in-law. He be running, jumping, and skipping away from getting his ass whooped. I remember the scene in front of Madani when he had on that girdle. We haven't gotten short-term memory loss, Wanda. She wants to know what's going on with the issue between Martell and himself. What started that? He basically says he already gave his response. He's not going to put any more energy into it. She says, well, I don't give a about your response. I want to know what happened. Now, I was saying, I wonder, that don't make sense. If you don't care about his response, then obviously you don't really want to know what happened or not. Now, do I believe that there's a possibility that Marceau and that big back could have been on top of some poor petite little woman smashing her against the mattress in the springs and the box board? I believe that could be a possibility. But however, he already let you know that he says that it ain't true. So what do you mean you want to know the tea, but you don't want to hear his response? What are we talking about here? It got to be something in the water out there. Tisha tries to end the convo because Wanda is starting to get real hot. And you know, once she gets hot and she starts stuttering and starts speaking in Hebrew black slave, then we are going to go to a place where we really don't want to go. So she tries to cut the conversation off, but the mama said, She ignores Tisha and then tells Marceau, it is disrespectful to your wife, to me. You know, that's how she like to say it, to me and my family. That you just acting like you ain't hearing none of this stuff going on and you ain't responding. You just said you didn't give a about his response, Wanda. So did he respond or did he not respond? Which one is it? I really can't. It's the slave shack education for me. I don't know what's going on in Alabama, but it needs to stop. So Tisha's in the confessionals telling us that her and Martell are good, that they've spoke and she trusts him because he's always been her protector. Tisha, what are we talking about? Where's the protection? The whole last season, he was literally standing beside you while Martell was in your face, calling you all types of B words, hoes, sluts, everything. He offered you no protection, and even so, he got upset at you for even defending yourself, even though he wasn't doing it. Because he don't want you to get in a place where he has to fight for you because the can't fight. He ain't protecting you emotionally. He ain't protecting you spiritually. He ain't protecting you mentally. We know that because you was crying in that sedan a few seasons ago about him possibly being a cheater and having that big back in a photo posted online. But where is it? Is it like an invisible cloak that he puts over you to hide you away from people who wanna come at you and also beat his ass? Like, is it like one of them Harry Potter cloaks? So y'all, now we at Kimmy and Maurice's place. And you know it ain't a Kimmy and Maurice scene if we don't have a fake scene with Monster acting like we telling him something that he don't know. So Kimmy and Monster are sitting at the table and Maurice walks in and asks, what are y'all discussing? Kimmy says, colleges, right? So Maurice sits down because obviously Maurice wants to talk to his son about what college he wants to go to. So let's see if that's what happens. No, it's not. So Maurice decides to tell his son, before I let you go off and live your own life as a grown man, I want you to know that there's consequences for certain actions that you might take. Who would have thought? Who would have ever thought that it will be consequences for actions that you may take in this world? Who would have ever thought that? How profound, Maurice. I really hate you. I really do. So Kimmy says, while your friends may be doing whatever, you have to make that choice to do something different because of consequences that you might face. Kimmy, why are we acting like Monster doesn't know right from wrong? Y'all, Monster looks so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. So then Maurice proceeds to ask him, have you heard about the DUI? Is it me or do y'all sense an energy of aggression when Maurice is talking to Monster? Why are you acting like you pissed off at me? What did I do? So he says, have you heard about the DUI? Monster reluctantly says, yes, I heard about it. Monster really want to say no, but he knows that he cannot because he knows that it might land him in hot water with Maurice, so he just has to go along with it. Just stuff it through the conversation, Monster. It'll be over in about a minute. Now, I'm thinking that Maurice is going to say, okay, then you would know there's going to be consequences for your actions because I made a mistake. And I had to take accountability and I also had to face the consequences and go to jail. Obviously, that's not what Maurice wants to go with this. No. So Maurice decides to ask Monster, well, what were your friends saying about it? He says, well, they were cracking jokes. Maurice asked, did they make a joke about it being dismissed? Did they make a joke about that? Huh? Monster? Son? Did they do that? He says, no. And he was like, exactly. That's the point right there. People will peer into your life and they'll laugh at the grievances that you're going through, but they'll never be there when it gets cleared out and updated. They won't ever be there for that, son. That's what I'm trying to tell you. How did we get here? What's going on? I really thought that the purpose of this was to tell him there's going to be consequences for his actions. But obviously, Maurice, you decided to make a bald-headed, big back attempt of making this just about yourself. Once again, taking no accountability that you was driving behind the wheel at 1 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Kimmy thought you was in the bed sleep. Hi, well, can you please come and get your child? We see Kimmy in the confessional, and she says, I just hate things that are unnecessary and really ruins or damages somebody's character. You mean like driving behind the wheel drunk and getting arrested for it, Kimmy? Is that what you're talking about? Maurice is telling us that the DUI has been dismissed and that he's glad that that chapter is closed in his life. But why was it dismissed? Can we talk about that for a second? Why was it dismissed? Was it dismissed because you were not guilty? Or was it dismissed because of a technicality about whatever the police officer did in your arrest? Which one was it? We get into asking Kimmy, well, what you been up to, Kimmy? Kimmy tells us that she is currently working on closing a $30K commercial property. Maurice is telling her, oh, I'm so proud of you. I knew it. I told you. Didn't I tell you? You just had to unlock your potential. She's like, I know, I knew I had the potential. I knew. This man telling you how to unlock your potential while y'all living in a house that you bought with your nurse money before you even met him. With all of this unlocked potential that he was clocking in with, why didn't he have his own house to move you into? Since he has all of this potential. And he was helping you unlock yours. These Scott men are really clowns. I don't like these niggas. They the worst. Ooh, girl. So Kimmy says, speaking of, I met with Tisha the other day, and she and I were talking, and Chris threw you and Marceau under the bus about some side chicks and NDAs. We see Kimmy in the confessionals talking about that's not cool. I was like, well, Chris and Nell, I hope y'all are ready to fight, because now that Melody's gone and they don't have like a constant target to go after every single season and, distract everybody from what's going on in their real life, they about to be on your ass, Chris and Nell, like white on rice. Everybody was talking about Mel was crazy. Mel crazy. Mel is a bad friend. Mel don't know how to be a good friend. Mel's so full of herself. Mel is evil. Mel is nasty. Mel is wrong. But now we see Nell and Kimmy almost coming to blows in the upcoming trailer. So I guess it wasn't just Mel after all, right? All y'all deserve to eat each other up and suffer the misery that y'all decided to put that woman through all of these years since 2017. Y'all ain't it. Kimmy asked Maurice, well, is it true? Like, about the side chicks and NDAs? Y'all, tell me why Maurice literally told this woman, I never had anyone sign an NDA. That's what he said. So he may or may not have been big back bitches, but he might not have made them sign an NDA agreement. They just might be doing it out of the kindness of their heart. And then Kimmy is saying, that's not the right answer. That's not the right answer. Are you serious? You don't really understand why that's the bad answer? You're supposed to say you don't have any side chicks. I literally hate this baby voice that Kimmy does when she talks to this man. You a grown ass woman. You a grown ass woman in her 50s. Why are you talking like a baby to this man? We are back with Miss Madani herself. Lord Jesus. But once again, we have to suffer through more Madani talking Madani fun facts. I hate y'all for this. You, Carlos. So she walks into an office with a black and white suit that looks coincidentally similar to a suit that Mel wore in a past episode. Ain't that kind of weird? Walking around dissing you but want to be in your damn outfits. That's crazy. She is discussing with a broker about selling a property. She says that, she's had a real estate license for 19 years, even though she doesn't really talk about it much. I was like, yeah, you don't talk about it much because all you want to do is tell us about damn Madani and Madani fun facts. That's all you've been doing. Why would you come to a show about houses and real estate and not talk about this shit? It's so weird how you've been having this for 19 years, but you ain't used the bitch. She says that she's adding real estate back into her repertoire of things that she's juggling on top of being a single mom of a toddler and on top of, transitioning Madani to e-commerce. Martell walks in and she pulls out a gift bag and she says, I got something for you. And guess what the gift bag has on it? Guess the name that the gift bag has on it, y'all. Bet y'all can't guess. It says Madani. A Madani gift bag for Martell. And what does it hold inside? Nothing else but the 2-month-old candle order that she never filled after he ordered it. And you want bitches to buy stuff off your e-commerce and you giving out fucking candles 2 months late? One candle, Destiny. Martell says these candles expensive nowadays. And Destiny gonna tell him, oh, you can't, you gonna be able to handle it because you're going to get all the money back when you put me on a list to sell your property. Like basically telling him what he's gonna do. You hoes have so much audacity and so much entitlement to feel that you can walk up to somebody and tell them what they gonna do with their property. And you ain't sold shit in 19 years. And ain't never told nobody about it. Where did you get off? See, this is why Mel didn't like your ass, because you have way too much entitlement. You feel that because you friends with bitches that are more successful than you and got more money than you, then they just have to lift your ass up. He lets her know that, Chris and Nell already beat her to it and that, they're already going to be listed on the property. And Destiny says, I don't mind competing. I don't have a problem with that. May the best woman win. So I'm like, okay, so now we calling Chris a woman? Now we calling Chris a woman? Just last season, that was your father-in-law. And Nell was your mother-in-law, but now he a woman? My, how things change when a motherfucker son have a baby on you. Ain't that crazy? The anger gets extended to the, to the family. Ain't that crazy how that work, y'all? But let's continue, child. So he tells Destiny that him and Arion, now they saying the girl name. So Arion, finally after 8 years, 9 years, he's finally saying your name and clearing that he's in a relationship with you on the show. After Mel leaves. He may have been denying your existence all the way up until Mel left the show because he was hoping and praying and wishing on a star that she would find it in her heart to forgive him and take him back into her bedroom. But she denied that bald-headed every single time. But you want to know, hand clap for you. Because although he called you a peasant, although he yucked you and said he would never be in a relationship with you, although he called you dumb, although he said that you could never be a wife to him, he has finally, after Melody left the show and left everything behind, decided to give you a chance. Congratulations. Did your life get any better after this? Did your income increase? Are you living any better than you was before? I want to know. Him and Arian are getting serious, that she's a good girl. I was like, why are you calling this woman a good girl like she's a little kid? He don't even look at you on the same level as the rest of the women on this cast. Arian, she's a good girl. Girl, he don't respect you. He don't respect you, and he about to put you through it, girl. You about to get everything that you put out. You about to get it all back. But he did say he trying to put her through nursing school. I was like, I thought she was almost done with nursing school. It's so crazy how a girl would drop out of school, stop her degree all over some in a couple Chanel bags. How would y'all feel if y'all walked into the hospital and Arian walked in to pull your blood? He asked Destiny, like, have you spoken to Lance? he texted her the day before Christmas, and then the next day he made a whole new baby announcement. Damn. And he basically called you a hoe at Chris and Nell's vow renewal. He called you a hoe. Meanwhile, he left the party to go hunch on some girl raw and have a baby. Ain't that funny how these be doing, y'all? But y'all still protect them. Destiny tells him that I was really upset that I ended up finding out that he had a baby online because people were dragging me for it. Then Martell proceeds to say, yeah, girl, that's why I don't be online like that. That's why I'm not really on social media. Destiny says, now, wait a minute. You are definitely on social media. He says, but yeah. But I'm not really making my presence known like that. She says, are you sure about that? Because the video that you did about the Scots, you definitely was making your presence known. She says that Martell knows better than that. He says, no, they deserved it. They've been going around talking about me, and they've been coming at me and my back is against the wall, and now I have the chance to speak. I'm going to speak and say what I have to say, right? So she says, I know what it feels like to have the internet against you. I know how online rhetoric can be, but I never went online. I never did anything like that. I'm not going online about people. I'm not trying to get vengeance. I would never do something like that. I was like, now, Destiny, you may not be going on videos or anything like that, but what you will do, you will get on this damn show and lie about people grooming you and saying that people tried to coerce you into a threesome. That's what you will say. It's really crazy to me how you whores really get on this show and y'all just lying. Y'all just lying. And at this point, I'm just wondering, are y'all just playing with us? Are y'all playing with our intelligence? Are you trying to trigger us? Because that's what it feels like. Because you know damn well that you've been all about vengeance. Every single time you tried to extend one of them raggedy ass olive branches to Mel and she chopped that down from the tree root, you went into attack mode every single time. Keep on making false allegations. Keep on throwing disses. Keep on throwing shade in your confessionals. Everything about you, Destiny, is vengeful. And I really don't like Destiny and Martell scenes because, y'all, it's really like a sounding board for idiots. It's like literally them facing each other with a camera in front of them and just lying and just blowing smoke into the other person's delusions. He says that he feels great. She says, you've been through the same thing yourself through years, and you know how it feels, what it did to your family, to your kids. I'm like, what has he been? When has somebody did this to him? What are you talking about, Destiny? Why is it that every single scene you and Martell have, y'all always are finding ways to shade Melody? She ain't even on the damn show no more. And you out here throwing undercover shade. The wig may change, but the underneath it still remains the same. Didn't nobody do shit to Martell? Didn't nobody expose Martell? Martell was the actual person going around threatening revenge on people. What are you talking about? Are you okay? Destiny says, Martell, that's beneath you. The Martell I know would never do something like that. The Martell you know? The Martell you know. The Martell that was arranging orgies in Atlanta. Martell, the one who was stalking, intimidating, putting trackers, and mentally abusing his ex-wife. Martell, the one who was convicted for abusing his son allegedly. Martell, the one who leaked revenge porn. Martell, the one who called Tisha all types of sluts, whores, ran through train tracks. This is who you're saying. It's bigger than this. This is gonna be is y'all just literally just lying, just making shit up, just Just blowing smoke out y'all asses. If this is all it's gonna be, I don't want to watch this. Now we are at Ken and Marquez's meetup at some type of workout warehouse. Look like, I don't know what type of building it was, but they was meeting up. Now Ken says that Marquez can make things difficult, right? Ken says that after LA, Marquez and himself needed to have a man-to-man conversation. He said, despite Ken's hate for him, he wants to make things cordial. I'm like, is it the hate that he has for you or the hate that you have for him because he had his children and you want to take possession of them because you're a big buff ass weirdo? Which one of those is it? You know, I really don't. Is it the hate that he has for you or the hate you have for him? Marquez says that after Ken reached out, it touched him. He just felt so much differently. He wanted to reach back out and really try to see if they can build upon something. I was like, Marquez, was it that or that Melody left the show and that created you a segue to be a full-time cast member because your ex-wife or your current wife and her boyfriend are still on the show and they need you for drama? Marquez says that he wants to co-parent. You know, he wants to co-parent with Trish and Ken, but he says, you know, me and Trish ain't speaking at all. You know, we ain't speaking at all. You know, Ken says that Trisha doesn't trust him, right? Marquez says that he's open to doing play dates. What? See this right here is what I'm talking about. Y'all just be saying anything on this show. What are we talking? What do you mean play dates? Your son is in high school, getting ready to graduate. Ain't your daughter like 13? What, like play and Ken ain't even got no damn kids. What the you mean play dates? What are y'all talking about? Are y'all okay? Marquez says in the future, maybe they can even go on trips together. I was like, what in the Alicia Keys, Mashonda, Swiss Beats is going on? What do you mean going on trips? What y'all trying to do? Have family orgies in the name of co-parenting? The next scene, we're at Chris and Nell's house, right? Chris is working on his online courses. Nell comes in. She said she saw Lance at the center and he looked stressed with the baby and she wants to reach out to him. I was like, my. Who would have ever thought that having a baby would be stressful? Maybe you niggas shouldn't be just busting in girls without no protection or no vasectomy. Maybe you shouldn't do that if you ain't mentally ready for a child. Clown. Just clown behavior. She says that it's been a month and a half since he's been to the house, right? Chris says, we'll pull up on him, right? She says, I think I'm going to do that. Now, Chris tells Nell that Martell is stopping by, right? Now, Martell comes, knocks at the door. Nell says she doesn't like the fact that Martell posted a photo of Ariane and herself at the Polo Classic. She feels that he set her up. I was like, what the hell is the Polo Classic? Is that when a whole bunch of old ass niggas and women like go and show off they, Burlington Coat Factory polo suits and outfits? Is that what it is? Is it like some type of old ass prom? What is the Polo Classic? We ended up seeing that there was a photo of Nell basically having some type of conversation with Ariane, and I guess she believes that Martell posts that online to get Mel upset with her and get her backlash from the fandom because Martell wants everybody to be hated by the fandom like he is. So anybody in proximity to him, he gonna drag you down too. But Martell says, I would never I would never post no photo of you. I would never do that. Actually, I deserve an apology. Like, one thing Martell does is walk around with this huge amount of audacity. Okay. He will pull out some audacity on your ass. Okay. Let me tell you this. So Nell says that, she doesn't really know if he did it or not, but she wants it to be known that she did not know Arion, that she did not never meet Arion, that she's never been around them, and that was her first time ever meeting this woman, and they walked up to her. I was like, Nell, you could say whatever the you want to say, but at the end of the day, Mel will not be with you, the fandom will not be with you, and you do look questionable. You and your husband, who like to throw shade at everybody else's relationships as well. It's something about you, Nell, that's just not trustworthy. The fact that this man has literally disrespected you, disrespected your husband, he's walked up on you, your husband got into it with him, and this man is still being invited into your household. And now it's even more so, you believe that he set you up to be dragged. But y'all invited this man, welcome him into y'all house. Why are we doing this again? Now, inviting this nigga out to go get something to eat is different, but inviting somebody to walk through your threshold where you protect your own spirit, where you protect your own energy, is insane to me. And because of that, it makes me question the validity of the things that you're saying. I feel what you want to do, you want to be vindicated. You want people to look at you differently because you care about what people say. But at the end of the day, I believe that behind the scenes, you do move weird. You do move weird. Do y'all think it's kind of weird how they didn't have no problem bringing up that long list of accusations that Martell had against Tisha, getting trains ran on her and, effing all of his friends and stuff like that? But they made it a point not to mention the accusations that Tisha made about Martell. Don't y'all find that kind of weird? So we can go around calling Tisha all types of sluts, hoes, and everything else, saying that your friends ran trans on her, that they hit that you have her on camera, that they video recorded her and everything else. But we can't talk about the accusation of Tisha calling you gay. We just gonna skip that and just go immediately to your response. The Fletchers says that, the Scots lack, transparency. Now, Nell, why is it now, after Mel has left, you want to echo the statements that she said? But now you want to take one of her talking points and use that as a beacon to antagonize people on the cast. Now you want to go around talking about how the Scots lack transparency. But when Mel was saying it was so fucked up. When Mel was saying it, you didn't see it. When Mel was saying it was messing up friendships. When Mel was saying it, everybody was acting like she was the big bad wolf. But now that Mel left, you're taking her talking points and trying to replicate them, hoping that the Mel fans will become Nell fans. And let me tell you something, Nell, I don't give a damn if you switch out the M with an N. We will not feel the same way about you the way we feel about Mel. We won't. And it's like you're trying to garner her fan base. But let me tell you something, Nell. Mel fans will never be a Nell fan because you want to know what? Your wigs are questionable and you yell too much. Martell asked if Lance had a baby on Destiny, and they said, girl, you're going to have to go ask Lance that. I was like, oh, we ain't talking about that? Oh, we ain't gonna talk about that, right? But we can talk about how you didn't like what Destiny did at your bachelorette party. But when we bring up your son around and having a baby on Destiny, now all of a sudden we gotta ask Lance. How about we ask you, Nell, since you got your degree and you know every damn thing and you're counseling every body, right? You was going around talking about all the stuff you didn't like that Destiny was doing with your son, but now that your son had a baby on Destiny, now we got to go talk to Lance. How about last season? We should have went to go talk to Lance, but no, we were talking to you. Nell, we had to talk to you. So why don't you answer these damn questions? Why did your son, while entertaining Destiny, go and stick his Peter whacker in some type of woman wrong and create a whole damn baby that's stressing him the fuck out? Why did he do that? Huh? Can we talk about it now? Or are we just gonna divert this question to Lance? Can't stand you niggas. So Trisha and Ken are in the car, right? Y'all, I'm like, Lord Jesus, we gotta see Trish. I was like, oof. Y'all, Trish gives me the creeps. Something about Trish is just so weird to me. She makes me uncomfortable. I don't know what about Trish grosses me out so much, but she just have you ever just felt a chill down your spine for no reason and you just like, oof, what is that? Y'all, I'm so sick and tired of seeing Trish in this underbite, in this lockjaw. Ken is in the car telling Trish that he wants her to be more confident that he has her back. I was like, well, maybe she would be more confident if you didn't expose all of her secrets on the last episode of the last season. Maybe she would be a little bit more believing of you having her back. But it looks like you exposed her to America. I don't know if you forgot, Ken, but I have not. So he lets her know that she spoke to Marquez. She says that she does not trust the motive behind it because it's always something with Marquez. It's always something with Marquez. You know, it's always something with Marquez. The triangulation is far too much. I was like, one thing Trish is going to do is create triangulation between Ken and Marquez. And I was like, why are you creating triangulation? She says that the kids don't see Marquez. And I'm just like, okay. Are we gonna keep on acting like this man don't be seeing these kids, that this man don't be talking to these children? I really cannot. She says that she is open to Marquez picking up the kids, but she doesn't know about him being around. I was like, what do you mean you're open to him picking up the kids? What do you mean you're open to that? Like, what are you talking about? Your son is in high school. He can go with his dad if he wants. Your daughter is old enough to decide if she wants to go with her dad or not. What are you talking about? Like, I'm open to it. Those are his kids as well. We at Trisha's house. Trisha's friend comes over, right? Now, her friend comes over with an asymmetrical side part looking like Shantae Moore from R&B Diva Circle 2014. I'm like, this is so throwback, girl. This hairstyle is so throwback. Y'all really got to stop doing this hairstyle. She tells Sharon, because that's this woman's name, Sharon, that Xavier went to go pick up Zaria from school to go get a smoothie, right? But she says that, she's been, MIA lately. And Sharon says, yeah, because you ain't been at the gym. So I had to come over here and see what was up. She says that she's been juggling work and also juggling her irritation with this newfound friendship between Ken and her husband. And I will continue to call this man her husband until they get a divorce. Right? So she says that everything was so peaceful with Ken out of the picture, and now he's back to causing chaos. I was like, when was Ken out of the picture? Can somebody tell me? When was Marquez out of the picture, y'all? He was with y'all all last season. What are you talking about? And it's kind of strange to me how you really don't want this man to be in his children's life and you are hell bent on trying to replace this man with Ken, and the fact that Ken is even open to doing that is very creepy. Now I understand a man stepping up as a father figure in the absence of another man. If he loves you that much, that love gets extended to the children. But it's almost as if you're saying, I don't want Marquez to be the father of my children anymore. I want you to step up as a father. He says, yeah, I'll take these kids. I'll be their new daddy. And I just think that's weird. I don't think that's right. So she says that Marquez has moved back, and he's been getting on her nerves ever since he came back, right? She says that she thinks that the reason that he's trying to get buddy with Ken is to get underneath her skin and agitate her, because he's seeing Ken more than he's seeing the children. As they're talking, right, Marquez walks into this woman's house. Y'all, this man just walks in the door. I'm like, is this man okay? No, you just didn't just walk into this woman's house. Are you good? Are you good? Something's wrong with Marquez, y'all. Something's wrong with him. Something's wrong with all of these people. They are off. This is an off cast. These people are deranged. But let's continue. So as he walks in, right, Sharon. Now, I know a lot of y'all are wondering, what did Trisha say? Trisha didn't say nothing, but Sharon, the woman who she's been friends with for 4 years, but the friend has never met the father of her children. Sharon, first time meeting this man, says, since you here, Marcus, I'm Sharon. Marquez says, it's a lot of energy, like you know me or something. And I agree. Why are you acting like you know this man? Why are you talking to him like you have a problem with him? You don't know him. Let's be clear here. When your friends talk to you about problems that they're having with their husband or their baby father, you need to make it a point to be the friend to listen, but you shouldn't be taking their problems into yourself and creating problems between you and their significant other or the father of their children. The fuck is wrong with you? The fuck? Are you okay? Girl, like just disrespectful. You don't even know this man. I'm not going to skip ahead. I'm not going to skip ahead. She says, well, you came in here like you were ready to attack. And he says, no, I came in here like I was ready to drop off my daughter. He says, if y'all want to talk about something or y'all got questions, I'm here. Sharon says, well, I got questions. I'm not too sure about Trish. I was like, well, why do you have questions? You don't even know him. Why would you have questions for him, Sharon? Your energy is way too much. You doing way too much for this show. You don't even know this man. And you acting like you have like this beef with him. Are you fine? Are you okay? Ciao. So he asked her, how long have you known Trisha? She said 4 years and that they met in the gym. He says, but like, have you ever met me before? Sharon says, I told you no, but I'm just wondering, why is that even relevant? Sharon, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to, Sharon? Why are you being combative with a woman's baby daddy who you don't know? This man could have had a firearm. This man could have been on the verge of snapping. You don't even know him. And it's not like you're stepping in to defend Trisha. You're literally antagonizing him for no reason. And then you got the nerve to get loud in this woman's house where the father of her children, in front of her children. So not only are you being disrespectful to him, you also are disrespecting him in front of his own children. Girl, I would have had to call my sisters on you. I would have had to call my sisters on you. Sharon is apparently Trisha's friend, who Marquez never met, even though that they've been friends for 4 years. But you know, you got to take what Trisha say with a grain of salt because the bitch be lying. But like, let me move on, y'all. So he says, you know, you're asking me questions and you haven't met me. That's why, you know, I'm asking because like you don't even know me and you got all of these questions for me. She starts yelling at him. She says, well, you asked me the question. Do I have questions? You asked it. He was like, calm down. It ain't that deep. Why are you getting loud? Like, why are you yelling? Like, why is your energy so up right now? So after that, she says, you can leave. Sharon, if the mother of the child that he's the father of has not told him to leave this house, why on earth do you think that you can tell somebody to leave somebody else's house? Why do you think that you have the right to tell somebody to get out of somebody else's house that you don't own, nor do you pay rent in? What's wrong with you? And Trish is weird for even letting it get this far because Trisha should have told you to calm down, period. Because if she already knows how Marquez is and Marquez just like to cause drama in her life, why would she even allow you to put gas on the flames? Child. Girl. These people are just gonna snatch Sharon off the. All right, let's continue, child. So he tells her, you know, I'm just so confused what's going on right now. I just came over here to drop off my daughter. And he was like, well, how did you? And like Trisha says, well, how did you even know where she was at? Like, how did you even get to her? Did Xavier tell you to go and pick her up? Did you go with Xavier to go pick her up? Did Xavier tell you to do that? He was like you already know the answer to that. And he was like, you know, I've been here. Why are you acting all brand new? She was like, well, you've been here since you've been back for the last 2 days. You ain't even seen your kid. I was like, now wait. I told y'all, pause, time out, flag on the play, flag on the play. So Marquez only been back home for 2 days. A couple days is what you said. He's been back for 2 days, a few days. And you're bringing up the fact that he's meeting Ken more than he's seeing his kids. And he's only been around you, only been around the city for 2 days. And he made room to go see Ken. Now, wouldn't it be only the right thing to do since this man is around his kids and you not responding to him or his messages because you don't talk to him? How else would he get in contact? And if he's trying to figure out how to make a better co-parenting situation, and honestly, y'all, I don't believe in anything that Marquez is saying. I just want to let y'all know that. I believe that Marquez, Trisha, and Ken are all full of shit. But I'm just letting you know I'm peeping the lies that Trisha is saying, and the shit don't make sense to me. Because the way you framed that earlier when you were talking to your friend, you made it sound like Marquez has not seen his kids since he's been back for months. And you don't even know if he's really back or not. But you literally just said you've been here for 2 days and you have not even seen your kids. Damn. I don't get like a week penalty. I can't get a grace week. It just like you calling me out for 2 days. Now him and Trisha getting into it. And mind y'all, look how Sharon started all of this shit. And now Sharon is just quiet, sipping a martini. After you caused all of this, you didn't have to say shit to this man. Because of you, this whole argument transpired. Now, Xavier walks in the house because obviously he can hear his parents arguing. And he's trying to get his dad. He's saying, Dad, let's just go eat. Let's go eat, Dad. Let's go eat. I was like, it don't sound like Xavier don't want to be around his parent. It don't sound like Xavier does not doesn't want to spend time with his dad. It doesn't seem like this man is absentee. But I will say it looks to me that you and Marquez, Trisha, y'all main priority are not y'all children. Y'all main priority is doing tit for tat petty bullshit in front of the kids. And what you want to know what pisses me off even more about you, Trisha and Marquez, is the fact that y'all are including y'all kids into y'all argument. If y'all want to be birds and pigeons and argue back and forth with one another, do that shit. But don't involve y'all kids in it and calling your children say, ain't that right, Xavier? Xavier. Don't call Xavier in the bullshit that y'all doing with each other. Don't traumatize y'all kids because y'all petty as fuck. Don't do that. That's some trash ass shit to do on both of y'all parts. Marquez looking up the stairs talking about this right here. This is my savior. God brought him down to me. If God brought him down to you, then why aren't you acting like God is in the room right now and acting like you have some fucking sense instead of arguing with this woman in front of your damn kids? What's wrong with y'all? Y'all are trash. Dumpster parents. And obviously y'all care more about pissing off the other one than y'all do about making y'all kids happy. And that's really sad and that's very pathetic. And y'all, that was the end of my review for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 10, Episode 1.